time to express myself. Mostly this express lane is kind of like wishful. I would love for this to happen, you know, as a member of the movement, the Black Sci-fi movement, which we used to call it a lot. I don't just want my books to succeed. I root for the genre. I root for the whole element. We've been facing, I talked to a writer yesterday about some white science fiction fans were, you know, like complaining, why you gotta kill white people in all your stories? And, you know, this is an old phobia, right? We don't do that, you know, but that's still an uphill battle. And, you know, but black people, you know, they get scared of science fiction I forgot what the reason was he had said, but, you know, it's an uphill battle. You battling your people, and you battling, you know, the mainstream gatekeepers, you know? So I root for the genre's success, you know? I remember when my first book, there was a page in there that had like typos on it, and one of the OGs, you know, said, yeah, man, you know, you got to do better. You got to do better than they do, you know? And then, you know, I had posted some what would probably be considered fan art, you know, and Katz was critical of that. And then before that came down, you know, other people came up and said, yo, is fan art, is emergent artists, you know what I'm saying? You know, people buy all types of stuff because it's art and it's subjective. But we are so hard on ourselves, you know, it's ridiculous. You know that saying, they say you gotta be twice as good. Some of us hold each other to that and won't support each other. And I think that's ridiculous, you know, especially as an independent artist. You know, you have to get your skills, all of them, lettering, coloring, inking, drawing, the writer, right? Even the person who puts the comic together. I caught a brother with a mistake on his Kickstarter. You understand? But that's because he's getting started. I had a mistake on Kickstarter, you know. I put up the wrong reward, but I honored it. You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm doing this. My office is here in my car. You know, this is my studio. My other, you know, I wrote comics on my kitchen table. You understand? So we're merging. I don't have no, you know, office. Now I don't think anybody got offices because of COVID. But they used, you know, the Marvel used to have big offices and stuff, and artists work there and collaborate there. So anyway, this is I didn't even say the topic. 6 comic books that I think, well, really 5 that I think could have blown up if promoted better. And I'm going to start with Cold Space. Cold Space was a comic which starred Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson was on the cover of the first issue of Cold Space. I don't know what it did. I'm not bringing in numbers. I just know when I posted, ain't nobody heard about it. It's a 4-book series, short run. Probably could have gone longer if people, you know, if it would have been more successful, right? He's a guy in sort of a Mandalorian suit who is going to a planet and gets trapped. It's like a spaghetti western. It's practically a Mandalorian story. And, you know, it's got Samuel Jackson's wit. Had that comic been promoted at ECBOC, at the time, pre-quarantine, you know, black comic book conventions was really big. Now we seem to have kind of lost that because everything is on the internet and internet groups, and people are promoting that they're going to be at comic conventions. I just think that really works more now. I do think more black people are going to comic cons, but we have black comic conventions. I've coordinated 2 conventions myself, and I know, how beneficial it is to have like a mainstream star. If one day, if Samuel Jackson just came by, don't even have to come by. The writer of the comic, anybody from the team would have come to something. If they'd have just had an ad in the program, took the back cover of the flyer, anything, they would have, black, cats would have known. There's another one that I think would have done that. Marvel came out in the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther run, right in the midst of Luke Cage on Netflix. They came out with a comic, Black Panther and the Crew. I think this is one of the best comics I've read in terms of an ensembled cast. Ta-Nehisi didn't write it. I forgot the lady's name. She's a professor. I'm going to say out of a school in Pennsylvania. I think I may have done it justice, but it's called Black Panther and the Crew. This story, I'm a man, and I know comics are written, not comics, not written, drawn to stoke male sexual interest, right? And many times black comics don't really embrace that. Sometimes they do, but they don't really. We going for black, right? But the fanboys out there really love how all these superhero women look. Everybody's got a C cup. Everybody's got, waists and legs. They got the whole basic package, right? That's for a reason. In Black Panther and the Crew, they put Misty Knight on the cover. And Misty Knight was played by Simone, I forgot her last name. I'm going to say Mystic, but that sounds too cliche. Simone is banging. She one of the beautifulest women in Hollywood. At least at the time, she was on that level. Oh my God. They had a real life Misty Knight to model after, and they got that wrong. The face on the cover is horrible. I mean, I know some illustrators have problems drawing faces, but God dog, woo, what? It's so unattractive, people didn't even know it was Misty Knight on the cover. All right? They messed that up. Right? I don't know who the cover artist was, but I don't know if I don't know who the hell they asked him to draw, because it don't look like Simone. Anyway, that one wasn't even promoted in the black comic world. And you can't tell me that it had Miles, it had Luke Cage, it had Blade, all of them was in the story. Nowhere did they promote that. It just had a lady on the cover and they said it was Misty Knight. Trash. Okay. The Weeknd, he's a top rapper. He did the theme song to I think he had a song in Get Out, but yeah, The Weeknd, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, whatever, right? Unique style. I think he's the most Afrofuturistic musical artist out, because he's successful with it. And he made it mainstream with his futuristic sounds. He came out with a comic, Starboy. His name of his album, and few people knew about it. Again, a black kid on the cover. Take that to black comic world. Is it that hard? What the hell? You guys are putting all this marketing out. Just put a side team, What happened to Weeknd? He don't have a team of people that just want to be, we work with the Weeknd. We just wanted to come to Ekbach. We wanted to come to Onyx Fest. We wanted to come out to the more black age of more. Dang, what's the one in Detroit? Sorry, Andre. Motor City Black Agent Comics. You know, we just want to come out here and support black comics out here in LA. Just do the LA one. They got one right in LA. They got one down in San Diego. You know, they got one at the Schaumburg. These are big black conventions. Knock them out. Hit them up. All right. What's the next one? You know, now everybody's all excited about Wesley Snipes, Exiled. Oh, snap. Wesley Snipes is about to do a comic. I bet you one thing he ain't going to do. I bet you he ain't going to go to daggone Kickstarter. Why not, Wesley? You could even offer your first book, right? If you don't own it, that's too bad. But your book that you did, you know, so Wesley Snipes, this is not his first run in comics. The first run him and Antoine Fuqua did together called I'm going to say Afterlife, but it's not Afterlife. I'll post the name of it. But it was a comic on, what's the name of it? Radical Comics. Probably to this date, one of my top comic book companies that ran for maybe 2-3 years. They did the movie Oblivion, and they were doing cinematic artwork in their comics, and the stories was practically all good. I liked like 80 to 90% of their comics. I have never liked a publishing company's books like that. I'm talking about every book they came out with, I liked it. And after whatever it is, I can't remember it, the one that Antoine Fuqua and Wesley Snipes did, I didn't even know it was them, right? I just saw it was Radical Comics, and then I saw Fuqua Snipes at the bottom under the names. And I was like, oh shoot. I read the story, I think it was 4 books. No Wesley Snipes character, a white character in it. So I was like, what? So I heard that he got in afterwards and bought it and said he'll play this guy, and that's fine, you know. So it was light, you know. It was, and who knows? Radical was probably pitching it to him, and it said, "Yo, we put, you know, you can get it, we'll start it, blah blah blah." But damn, you didn't have his likeness in it, and it was kind of like wasn't a black person, you know. It looked like a Middle Eastern or Mediterranean person, and that too. You had to look for Snipes at the bottom, and Fuqua. None of them came. I don't think at the time they had the Harlem Comic Book Convention, or maybe they did, but they always had Ekbach. They have in New Jersey. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Not Onyx Fest. Oh my God, what's my man's name? And Nasheed Gifted, right? Anyway, there's a convention in New Jersey, right across. They got black comic conventions, and forget it, they got comic cons. I saw Wesley Snipes at a Comic Con promoting it. You know, he did good by going to Comic Con, but at the time, black people, and still black people, don't really fully go to Comic Cons. And I'm going to do a post on kind of how creative ways to reach black comic book fans and black science fiction fans, because like we're interconnected. Yes, there's people that don't read books, that only read comics. There's people like my son that read books but don't like comics because he said the story is too short. So I get it, but there's still an intersection where people will come and support and find stuff in a black science fiction cross section. You know, a black comics. You can sell black sci-fi books at a comic convention. I've been selling books at comic conventions for 10 years. So let nobody tell you. And I can't tell you which ones sell the most. Sometimes because the comics are cheaper, they sell. But so those are my top 5. I think it was a Starboy. It was Cold Space. It was Black Panther and the Crew. It was After whatever the heck it is with Wesley Snipes. And there's another one. Dang. I thought I had another one. I can't remember. It was just top 4. But Exile is one that Wesley Snipes is doing now. And I really hope that they bring it more than just the comic book stores, more than just promoting it in Diamond. I really hope they promote it to black comic conventions in some way, whether they come there physically or if they just go there, take out ads and stuff. But they need to be a part of it. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Like, subscribe, share, comment. All right. My last one did really well. People still talking about this Egypt opinion on Moon Knight, but I may revisit it because I got to explain what Egypt is to these Hotep haters. Yes, I'm a Hotep. It is what it is. I'm a what do you call it? Blurred LGBT supporter, but I'm also a Hotep. So break those stereotypes. People try to hate too much.